reporting live from the metaverse in the Horizon world. And yeah, I don't know about y'all, but where I'm from, you gotta bully the bully. And it's clear as day that the crypto space got a bully when it comes to the SEC and that bad actor, Gary Dirty Gensler. After receiving a wellness notice from the SEC, Coinbase has responded with some legal action of their own. Check out this update from Crypto Law TV as lawyer John Deaton breaks it down. Check it out.
And we are live. Welcome to Crypto Law TV's weekly update. I'm John Deaton, the founder and your host. Coinbase goes on the offensive. And brother, you know I love it. Coinbase yesterday filed a unique petition under the law called a writ of mandamus. And while everyone else was in Twitter world was trying to figure out what the hell's a writ of mandamus, there's a community that was ahead of the game as usual for 2 years. Already knew what a writ of mandamus was. A writ of mandamus is when a company or a petitioner, individual, goes to the court and says that there's this government agent, officer, and they're not doing their job, and we need a court order for you, judge, to tell them to do their job. Now, why in the world would Coinbase have to file a writ of mandamus asking the SEC to do its job? Well, I found a clip. Crypto Law found a clip that kind of tells you the story. Let's play it.
Securities Exchange Commission will sort that through, and they'll sort through not just the 1,000 ICOs, but they're actively looking at all the large cap tokens. And they should, because the market needs clarity. The uncertainty as to whether Ether is or is not a security, it could exist for months, but at some point in time, it's worthwhile to sort of settle that down.
Now, right now, just picture The Exorcist, the movie where she turns her head all the way completely around, because that's what my reaction is when I hear that. There needs to be certainty for Ether. That was 2018. We are 5 years later. And so what Coinbase has done, which is beautiful, is that I think they playing the long game here, people. They went back and they said, listen, in July of 2022, and they asked the SEC for clarity to basically say, okay, which tokens are we listing that you think are securities, and tell us how we can comply. Because 2 years ago, you, the SEC, gave us a permission to go public with an IPO, and you didn't require us to register as an exchange that sells securities. So, okay, we want to comply. Tell us. And the law requires them, they're supposed to give a response, even if it's a no. But the SEC refuses to do that. And the law, basically, under the Administrative Procedure Act, says that this government has to basically respond within a reasonable time. Well, a reasonable time has passed, and they go in. Now,
yeah, the hypocrisy. Can a brother get a little bit of clarity? Is that so hard to ask for? After all, that's what this is all about, giving the market some clarity. Tell me what's a security and tell me what's not. You saw Gary Gensler in the hot seat. He couldn't even answer if Ethereum was a security or not. Yeah, you saw Gary Gensler. There it was back in 2018. He was saying that the markets need some clarity. And here we are in 2023, and we still need that clarity. And guess who could give it to us? Gary Dirty Gensler, but he ain't doing that. And don't think that Coinbase isn't trying their best. Listen up, in this recent interview, Brian Armstrong, he expressed that he tried to meet with Gary Gensler 30 times. He met with Gary Gensler in SEC 30 times. And did he get any results? Well, let's just listen to this interview. Check it out.
We're seeing some of that in Singapore and other countries around the world. So I think that's really positive. And basically, that's the big thing that'll unlock growth in crypto is we need that regulatory clarity. We actually need more of that in the U.S. The U.S. is a little bit behind on this, and certain regulators are taking more of a regulation by enforcement approach, which is not helping.
Yeah, and you've been sort of talking and been pretty critical of the SEC and others as well in terms of their regulatory approach. What does that mean for Coinbase's business in terms of, are you looking at other jurisdictions to set up shop in terms of headquarters, relocation, anything of that sort?
Yeah. Well, we're a business with like any business, we have a budget and we have to decide where to allocate it. And so That means what products we want to build, but it also means what countries we want to invest in any given year. And with the US kind of lagging a little bit, having this regulation by enforcement approach that's really, instead of just creating a clear rule book so that everybody has to play on a level playing field, we are looking at other markets. I think the UK is actually a very good one for us. It's our, it's the first country we went into outside of the US. It's our second highest revenue country. And the UK, we've seen really great leadership from everyone from the PM, the city minister, kind of talking about how they want crypto to be based here in the UK. They want it to be a Web3 hub. That's really attractive for us. And so we have an office here, we have a presence. I think we're probably going to invest more.
Let's talk about the SEC a little bit. They issued you a Wells notice not too long ago. Have you got more clarity on precisely what the SEC is worried about right now?
Unfortunately, no. We've met with them over 30 times in the last year. And then, of course, they allowed us to go public as an S1. we filed and had many in-depth conversations with them about our business. But even over the last year, we had 30 meetings. Never got a single piece of feedback from them about what we could be doing better or differently. And then this Wells notice arrived. And so it's really unfortunate. I think we're going to have to actually end up going to court to get the clarity we need and create that case law. It's an abdication of responsibility. I mean, the regulator's job is to publish a clear rule book and allow that market to be safe, but also to flourish in that country. And I think they've completely abdicated responsibility.
Investors are worried that...
Yeah! Did you hear that? 30 meetings. He met with Gary Gensler and the SEC 30 times. No results. They're still waiting for regulations. They're still waiting for clarity. And I know this is a big headache to all you institutions and VCs out there. But hey, if you're like me, if you're a retail investor, you gotta take advantage, because once regulations comes, that's when the big money's gonna come into the game. So you gotta get in before the big money so that your money could be in that pile when it appreciates. But that's when you have to DYOR, do your own research, because we're waiting for the clarity, we're waiting for the regulations, but right now you should be taking advantage. This is Biz to the Moon Report, live from the metaverse. I'm finna see you soon. I got some friends around here. Where they at? They probably in the crib. We saw they was jumping in. I even had to block one of my homeboys because, hey, when I come to Metaverse, I'm here to do business. Come on now, they don't call me Biz for nothing. I'ma see you soon. Jump into the crypto space.